Alright guys, this is Captain Cuz 6951. Welcome back to part 3 of the BOFORS gun build. Before we get going, I've been telling you guys that, my eyesight is not that good. I don't know if I'll be able to paint these figures and so on and so forth. But I tried it the other day off camera just to see how it would work, and I don't think I did too bad actually. So let me show you what I got. No, I don't think that turned out too bad. I'm going to change the color of the uniform, but I just want to see if I could actually do it. Now the face, it's a small scale. You may not see it, but at least it'll be in there. Now what I found out is this is the driver of the tractor. He doesn't fit. I got to cut his legs off to make him fit into the tractor. Anyhow, that's something we'll work on down the line. Anyhow, throughout the build, I will be painting the rest of these guys. I think there's 5 figures in here. But today's video, we're going to start with this. This is the carriage for the gun itself. And also, I found something else I'm going to be painting the wheels and tires with by ordering some stuff from Vallejo. I don't know why I'm using Vallejo paint. It's the only paint I know at this point. So I've been watching you guys. I found there's a couple other companies out there that do paint for this. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. Anyhow, we're going to start with 12, 13, and 14, and then we're going to continue on down here. So with that being said, let's see. I guess we need to start here with number 12, so let's see where the parts are. We need 65, 64, and 63. I know we're going to need this piece right here, so I might as well just go ahead and cut that off right now. Also, I keep mentioning I want to get a different pair of these. I want something a little bit smaller. Okay, now what are we looking for? 63, 4, and 5. 63, 4, and 5. Come on, where are you guys? There they go. Here we go. That is 63. We're going to be building 2 of these, actually. These 2 right here. Alright. And now we need 64, which is these little cap thingies. There we go. That's these guys. And we're going to need 2 of those, 64 and 67. They're all the same. I don't think it makes a difference. So. The smallest part, they got to put so many connections. There's one. And there's 2. Alright, so we got 64 and 67. Now we need 65 and 68. And I know I see those too. Yeah, right here. 65 and 68. Wow, those are really tiny. Oh man, this is not going to be good. Jeez Louise, that is a tiny part. Alright, we need 2 of those. Now, that one, there it is right there. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, let me get a different work surface here so I can see all these parts, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I have my pieces all cut out, and now I'm going to start to assemble them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this guy. I think these are the outriggers that I'm actually building right now. It doesn't say anything of what these parts are or so on and so forth, so I just have to guess on what they are. Anyhow, I'm going to leave that guy right where he's at. And I'm going to take this guy and I'm just going to put him right over that guy. And I'll clean the pads. Once they're glued in, I will clean them because they'll be a little easier to handle. Alright, and then we'll use some quick set. I tell you, I've been watching a lot of you guys do this in the 1/35th scale. And I'm really impressed with all the detail that's on those as compared to what's on this guy. Okay, come on now. Now this little guy, I think he's the crank. And I noticed on the box cover, there's a lot of, how come this is not? There's a lot of detail on the tractor that they do not include in the kit. Like side view mirrors, extra supports at the radiator. There's a bunch of stuff. This is not sticking. Why? Because I tried to be Weisenheimer? And now it's sticking. All the way down. I guess that's as far down as it goes. No, look at that. It did not stick. Very strange. Let's try this again. It's funny, I mention this in almost all of my videos that I've been doing, that you dry fit it, it goes in with no problem. As soon as you add the glue, it says, no, I don't want to go. Anyhow, that's one. I'll put that in after that dries, so we'll go ahead and do the second one. They're exactly the same, so just moving that out of the way, and let's get him ready. Just wanted to make sure that they were the same. There we go. There's number 2. Alright, I'll wait a couple more minutes for those to dry, and let's see what the next parts are going to be. So we now have these done, and they are going to go on the outsides of here. And then we need parts 71 and 70 and 75 and 74, and that'll be the other 2 outriggers. So let me go on off the camera and look for these parts, and I'll bring you back in a minute or 2. Alright guys, we need to cut a few more parts out of here to get this assembly a little further along, and those parts are going to be these 2 guys. They look like axles and part of the framework, so we'll get that off. And then we also need to add this crazy configuration here. I don't know what in the heck that is. Maybe hoses, and I don't know. I really don't know. But we need to cut those out. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I definitely need to get a smaller pair of cutters. Now this one here is number 72. And 72 goes on this side. I'm just looking to see if orientation is correct. It looks like it is. So this one's going to go on this side. And then therefore, this one will go on this side. Wow. Talk to myself a lot when I do my models, guys. Does that mean I'm crazy? Alright, and then this crazy dude over his is whatever this guy is. And not going to get any better than that. Hey, look at that, got it. Alright, so let me do a test fit here. Now they got these facing down. You gotta realize when you're doing these kits which way to have the parts oriented, because they don't tell you. So this guy is gonna fit right in that little spot right there. But they don't give you no positive lock. Huh. All they give you is a side-to-side lock. But they do not give you a up and down. And that's quite a bit too. Look at that. So how do I know where the middle is? I don't know if this is the correct stuff that you guys use, but I typed in tacky stuff and that's what came up. So alright, so I guess once we put the glue in there, we can get it to stand up. Now that I put that in the right way, make sure I can. Yeah, because it's got this little thing right there. Okay. Put it back on there. Now I don't know if I'm going to glue these outriggers in. I don't know what kind of position I am going to put these in. I think this is going to be in the traveling mode. So the gun will be in this resting position. So this has to go with those guys. Yeah, it looks like they're down. So it actually needs to go. Guys, like I said, I'm really brand new to this modeling stuff, so please bear with me. Alright, maybe that'll work. Yeah, I'll hit it with some glue and then I can straighten it out. Okay. And we will use this heavier Tamiya. I'm not really happy with the quick set. It just doesn't seem to work for me. I don't know, and I'm not on painted surfaces. But I do notice that there is one of my other models that I was working on was already painted, and I do notice that some of the colors in there. I don't think that affects anything, because I've seen guys have a ton of stuff in their glue and it still works. Alright, that looks like it's going to be good right there. So that's why I prefer using this. Gotta make sure that these guys are straight. We don't want the trailer to be going down the road. Do they call it dog walking? Sorry if my head's in the way. I'm trying to look down on it to see if I have it straight. And if I look at the video screen, it looks like it's pretty straight. And so then this one, yeah, you got to watch out what you cut off on these people too. Like I was looking at this, it looked like I had to cut that off, but no, I don't think so. I suppose we can cut it off at a later time if we have to, because that one's going to go right there. I have to make that higher. I have to make that higher. So what can we do? We can do this. Put this on top of here. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Alright, so this guy can get ready to go there. Now, according to the pictures I see, everything is that army color green. And I would hope I get an answer to this question. How far along was Mr. Stein on his build? Was he going to do any weathering on his build? All right. I think I'd better put on my extra eyes, make sure we're in the right place. Nope, we're not. We need to be right there. Sometimes these extra eyeballs help, especially when you get up in age. Alright, we're going to let that set up a little bit, and then we'll see what the next step is going to be. It's going to be adding these little guys, 1 and 2, and then the outrigger dealing with bobbers, and so on and so forth. So we'll be back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, now we're going to do the other half of the axle cover, and also that would be for the outriggers. So we're going to put the outrigger pads on, and then we'll put the assembly onto here, and then we'll flip it over and put those crank thingy my bobbers on. So I am going back to my Fowler's glue. I'm just not liking the way this to me it is acting up. It just doesn't seem to be working. So we'll just go ahead and put some of this on here. Then alright. And so now we'll just take a dab of that and stick it in that hole. There you go. And then you take this and flip him over and put him in. No, in the part, not my finger. There you go. That's one. And now we'll do the same thing with this guy. Now this glue takes a little bit longer to set up, but I have a lot of confidence with this glue. I've been using it forever. Alright, so we need to take this guy and flip him over. Put him in there. Come on. That's your new home. Still trying to get used to using tweezers as my fingers. Come on now. Alright. Uh-oh. No. You know what? That hole, is it in? Alright, there we go. Thought the hole was a little bit too small. I'm going to let those set up and then we'll put them on there. And I think this guy, except for this, whatever that is, and the wheels and tires, the chassis will be finished. Let me take a look at the instructions here. Alright, so we just did these guys down here, these two. These are already done. We just need to add the little crank thingies on these as soon as we flip it over. 14 is done. It doesn't give any Glossier or whatever, what that question mark means. There's a question mark here, and I don't know what that means. It means it could be or not could be, so I'm not quite sure what that means. So anyhow, like I said, we'll let all of this dry up, and we'll proceed to put it together. Talk to you guys in a bit. Alright, boys and girls, the next thing on the agenda is to paint these tires. I already painted the wheels, as you can see, and what I do is I will go ahead and I will spray the backside all black. I don't need to worry about the backside because you're not going to see it. Then what I do is I spray the front side with the color of the vehicle. In this case it's drab green. Then, very meticulously, I hand paint the black. Now in the last video I told you guys I watched a video that said you can use a dark German gray, which would be a good color for tires. At the time I had ordered and I was waiting for this kit to come from Vallejo, and the Vallejo kit is called Tires and Track, and it had this in there, and it says Tire Black. Now to be honest with you, I think this is the same exact color as the dark German gray, but who's to argue with Vallejo, right? Anyhow, I am going to go ahead and do one more of these on camera, and I'll do the rest off the camera, and then we will go ahead and paint this guy up, and we'll call this video good. So let me get this going here. That on the side. Now I do have in here a drop of this Vallejo Tire Black. And I don't know, what I did was I cut the tips off of toothpicks to the size of the hole that's on the tire, on the wheel, and hopefully it'll hold in place. It did for the first one. So I'm going to put my extra eyeballs on so I can actually see what I'm doing. And so here we go. We'll do a little dab in there. I'm not really happy with these brushes. I have to find a better brush. Seems that the bristles want to come out on this. Now, as I'm putting the paint on, as you can see, I am turning the wheel, and I'm trying to keep it right on the outside of the rim. And I may screw up. And there you go. Very nice. And then I'll also do the tread. No, don't fall off now. And I think that wheel looks pretty darn good. Now I also noticed that some of the wheels you can see through the rim, some of the wheels you can't see through the rim. The ones that you can't see through the rim, I am assuming that those are brake drums on there, and they go on the side where the tow hitch goes, which I had found out that this piece right here is the tow hitch. So we'll stick this in my little styrofoam dealy-mo bobber, and I'll go ahead and paint the other two, and I'll bring you back when those are done, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, boys and girls, we're ready for final assembly here. I'm going to put the outriggers in the park position because this is going to be like it's traveling. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these outriggers in. Once those are in there and dry, we can go ahead and paint these. You can see the wheels are done. So this is basically the last part of the assembly other than putting the wheels on. Now, I don't like the amount of play that's in the between the axle and the wheel is really a lot of play, and I don't know how to fix that. So we'll have to use, hopefully I can get the quick set to work a little bit better. Anyhow, I do have other CA cements that I can use to make it stay in a straight ahead position. Alright, let me go ahead and do that, and we'll get it going. So we do this, and I'm going to put it on the bottom. There's a little pin on there, and there is a hole in there that we're going to try and line up. Now, I already tried it, and it went in nice and easy, but now watch, when I put the glue on, it's not going to go in so easy. Hey, look at that. It went in. Alright. And this will be the last piece. There you go. Alright, we just wait for this all to dry up now, and we'll give it a spritzer and call this video good. Alright, give me a few minutes for this to dry up and we'll be back. Alright guys and gals, welcome back to the final part of this video. As you can see, I've got the, I don't know what to call it, carriage, dolly, I don't know what to call it, tow vehicle, I don't know. Anyhow, as you can see, it's all together. I got the tow bar in there. It's just temporary. I have not painted that yet. But this was pretty cool. I got the outriggers in the stowed position, and when I build the gun, it will be in the stowed position as if this is either traveling or just parked somewhere. Very easy kit to build. I like it. Finally figured out what that stupid thing with all those fingers were. That is actually the tow hitch. The underneath is really nothing there to see. I will be painting the pads of the outriggers. These guys right here. I'll be doing those in gunmetal, I think, to make it look like they've been used. I did paint the figures. I used this field drab. I think it's a bit too dark for the uniforms. I may have to change that, but I did everything but their faces. You can see the binoculars on that guy, the guy holding the shells, all the guys that are sitting down, both sides, back, front, and rear. Did their boots in black, did the binocular in black. I did the shells in black. I don't know what color the shells are supposed to be, but anyhow, I did do that. I have not touched the faces yet. I will be doing those. When I do the gun, which will be in the next video, I will be doing weathering and adding the decals, whatever decals are necessary for the truck or tractor, whatever you want to call it. Anyhow, I did find the piece that was missing for this. I knew I would. But there was also a second piece that was missing, and I'll show you that piece right here. You see that little guy right there? Well, there was one right next to it on that piece of sprue right there, and that was the bumper supports for the front. It's gone. I just don't know where it went. It was attached to the sprue. I just don't know where it went. Anyhow, I did come up with a solution for that, and if you can see this right here, it's just a strip of styrene that I'm going to use for a front bumper, and here is the part that I lost. So I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. Captain Cuz 6951 out for now. Stay tuned for part 4 of this build. Talk to you guys later. Bye for now.